In the last class, we have discussed on what are the necessities of pumps. Okay, what are the different types of pumps? In that, we have discussed on the displacement pumps and the airlift pump. Today, we are going to discuss more on centrifugal pumps and what is the difference between the centrifugal pump and a reciprocating pump that we are going to discuss. And then we have seen the factors affecting the selection of pump in the last class, and along with the working principle of the displacement pump and the rotary pump. Displacement pump we will be having the two types in it, that is the reciprocating pump and the rotary pump. And reciprocating pump and for the rotary pump we have seen its working principle, along with the working principle of the airlift pump also we have seen in the last class. Now in today's class we will be more concentrating on the centrifugal pumps. Now we'll see how exactly the centrifugal pumps are going to work. Okay, now as the name is having the centrifugal, okay, then when a certain mass of a liquid is made to rotate by an external force, that is when a certain mass of liquid, when it is made to rotate by an external force, it is thrown away, as it is shown in the diagram. It is going to thrown away when it is made to rotate by the external force. Okay, from the central axis of rotation, that is the liquid is going to rotate from the central axis of its rotation, and the centrifugal head is impressed, which enables to rise a higher level. That is the working principle of our the centrifugal pump. The centrifugal pump employs a rotating impeller. Okay, whatever it is you are going to see these blades, we call it as an the impeller. Okay, with a being the centrifugal pump employs a rotating impeller with the water being drawn at the hub or eye. Okay, it is going to be drawn at the hub or eye of the pump impeller and discharged through a spiral, causing by a virtue of centrifugal force. Okay, centrifugal force is going to get developed when it is going to rotate due to the rotation of the impeller. Okay, now in addition to the centrifugal action, the liquid is going to pass, okay, it is going to pass through the revolving wheel or impeller. It is the when the centrifugal force is applied, it is going to pass through the revolving wheel or impeller at an angular momentum, which also results in increasing the pressure of the liquid. Okay, now this particular centrifugal pump is going to be divided into two types. That is, first type is the volite pump and the second is the diffuser or a turbine pump. Okay, now as your volite pump is having the impeller, okay, it is going to have the impeller, that is nothing but the blade, the water is going to be rotated into this particular impeller. Now how will, as the you are seeing in the diagram, the water is going to be rotated through this particular impeller and it is going to be tried to move outward and it is going to discharge. Now we'll see the how the volite pump is going to actually work. Okay, in case of your volite pump, the impeller is going to be surrounded by the spiral shaped casing. This particular thing is, we call it as an the volite casing. It is, if this particular casing we call it as an volite casing. Okay, when the water is going to be rotated from this particular impeller, it is going to spread outwards. Okay, commonly this particular casing is called as an volite casing, or we call it as an volite chamber. The shape of the casing is such that the sectional area of the flow around the periphery of the impeller, it gradually it is going to increases to deliver the pipe. In the improvised version by which is going to be designed by J. Thomson, a circular chamber is known as a vortex chamber. It is provided in between the impeller and the volite chamber. Okay, the vortex chamber serves the dual purpose of reducing the velocity and increasing the efficiency of the pump by converting a large amount of kinetic energy into the pressure energy. When the kinetic energy is going to be there, it is going to convert that particular kinetic energy into the pressure energy. Okay, the next type of the pump we call it as an the in your centrifugal pump itself we are going to have one more type, we call it as an the diffuser pump. Okay, this is what the diagram of the diffuser pump. In a diffuser or a turbine pump, a diffuser ring containing a series of guide vanes, it is going to have the series of guide vanes, it is going to be surrounded by the impeller. This particular guide vanes, it is going to be surrounded by the impeller. These whatever you are going to see, it is at a center is we call it as an impeller, and it is going to be surrounded by these particular guide vanes. The diffusing ring, okay, the diffuser ring remains stationary. Okay, the diffuser ring remains stationary while the impeller rotates inside the ring. Okay, then the liquid after leaving the impeller, okay, whenever the liquid is going to leave after the impeller, gradually enlarged passes through these particular guide vanes. When the liquid is going to leave these particular vanes, it is going to enter into these particular guide vanes. Due to this, the velocity of the flow is gradually decreases while the pressure is going to increases when it leaves from your impeller to the guide vanes. After passing through the guide vanes, the liquid flows into the surrounding casing. After leaving it from your guide vanes, it is going to leave into the surrounding casing, may be either circular or volute in shape. A diffuser pump is a reverse turbine, and hence it is known as the turbine pump. A centrifugal pump is maybe it is going to be further classified into single or multiple flow pump depending upon the number of impeller mounted on a shaft. Depending upon the number of the impeller mounted on a shaft, we are going to divide it into two types, that is the single or multi-stage pump. A single stage pump has only one impeller, while the multi-stage pump, it is going, as the name is indicating, it is going to have the multi impellers connected in series. Okay, the water from the first is to be collected in a casing or volute, and then it is discharged into the eye of the second impeller, and so on. Now we will be seeing the different types of a centrifugal pump based upon the direction of flow. Based upon direction of flow, we are going to divide the centrifugal pump into the radial flow, that is second is mixed flow, and third is the axial flow. The radial, mixed flow, and the axial flow. Okay, in normally a centrifugal pump is of radial flow type, in which the liquid is going to flow from the impeller and in a radial direction. In a radial type of direction, what is going to happen? The centrifugal pump is normally liquid is going to flow in a radial direction. In an axial flow, the liquid is going to flow in the axial direction, and they are used to deliver the large quantity at the smaller heads. In a mixed flow type, okay, in the mixed flow type, that is the third type, in the mixed flow type, there is a combination of both the axial and the radial. Okay, radial flow, what happens? The liquid is going to flow in a radial direction. Axial flow, it is going to flow in an axial direction, and then mixed, it is an combination of both the radial and the axial flow. This is how we are going to classify the centrifugal pump based on its direction of flow. Next is based upon the number of the entrances, we are going to divide it into the single suction pump and double suction pump. Okay, in a double suction pump, what is going to happen? The liquid is going to enter from both the sides of the impeller. Due to this, what is going to happen is the thrust on the impeller is going to be neutralized, and these pumps are also known as the horizontal or vertical, or when their shafts are horizontal or vertical. Okay, the impellers of the centrifugal the impellers of the centrifugal pump, maybe again it is going to be divided into two types, that is open and closed. Open impellers are suitable for the use with the liquids containing solids such as the sewage. However, the closed impellers are more efficient and commonly used for the water supply work. Okay, this is how we are going to classify the centrifugal pump into the different types, that is volute type. We are going to have the first classification as a volute type, then we are going to have it into the diffuser type, then based on direction of flow we are going to divide it into the radial flow, mixed flow and the axial flow. Based upon the number of entrances we are going to have the single section pump and the double section pump. Now we will be having the difference between your centrifugal pump and the reciprocating pump, how the centrifugal pump is better than your reciprocating pump, that we are going to see it. So we are going to divide it into based upon the different types of characteristics. So we are going to classify both the reciprocating pump and the centrifugal pump based upon the discharge, then speed, then efficiency, based upon head, based upon size, cost and the running. Okay, so based upon this we are going to classify or we are going to have the difference between both the reciprocating and the centrifugal pump. Okay, now we will first consider the discharge. Okay, the discharge of your reciprocating pump is having the flow pulsating type. Okay, and it is going to give you the constant discharge even if the the delivery side is going to vary. This is how this is for your reciprocating pump. And for the centrifugal pump we are going to have the continuous flow, we are going to get the continuous flow and it does not give the constant discharge for your centrifugal pump. Okay, then based upon speed we are going to differentiate between the reciprocating pump and your centrifugal pump. Is for reciprocating pump it is going to run at lower speed, whereas it is going to run at higher speed, which is going to have the speed of around 500 to 1000 rpm. Direct connection with the driving machines is going to be possible. Okay, in case of your centrifugal pump. Then we will classify based upon the efficiency of a reciprocating pump. The reciprocating pump have the long stroke engine which is going to have around 85% of the efficiency, while the smaller pumps it is going to have only around 40% of efficiency, whereas your centrifugal pump is going to be more efficient. The efficiency is going to vary between the 40 to 85% or it can be more. Okay, this is the basic difference between the discharge, speed and the efficiency. Now we will be concentrating on regarding with the head. On head we are going to classify this reciprocating pump. It can work for higher heads and it is suited for the lower heads. Your centrifugal reciprocating pump it is suited for higher heads, whereas your centrifugal pump it is going to be suited for the low heads. Then we are going to classify based upon the size. The size of your normally your reciprocating pump, it will be having the larger size and bulky and heavy in nature, whereas your centrifugal pump it is going to have the small, compact and light in weight. So based upon size also your centrifugal pump is going to be have more amount of advantage than your reciprocating pump. Then we'll discuss on the cost. It is a reciprocating pump, it is going to have the high initial cost and maintenance cost, whereas your centrifugal pump it is going to have the low initial cost and maintenance cost. Then we will be seeing the running cost. Okay, the running thing, how it is going to work, the centrifugal pump how it is going to work and your centrifugal pump how it is going to work. Your running of your reciprocating pump is very difficult. It is bit difficult and it is going to be it requires more power is required and it is going to have the complicated mechanism is required and operation is quite difficult for your reciprocating pump, whereas your centrifugal pump, the starting is very easy and it is requiring very less amount of power, and a simple mechanism is there, and the operation is much more easier than your centrifugal pump. So it shows that based upon all the criterias, right, based upon all the criterias, your centrifugal pump is more suitable than our reciprocating pump. We have differentiated all these based upon the discharge, speed, efficiency, head, size, cost, and your running, how it is going to help. Okay, so based upon this, we came to a conclusion that the centrifugal pump is going to be having the more advantages than the reciprocating pump. Now we will be discussing on the jet pump. Okay, now we are going to discuss on the jet pump, how it is going to work and all. We will be seeing within a few seconds. Now we will be seeing regarding the jet pump. As the name is suggesting, jet pump, that it is going to have the impact of the compressed air or water. It is going to be taken care with the help of the nozzle, and since the nozzle is there, it is going to give the more velocity to our the water, so that the water will be moved with the very higher velocity. So this is your diagram of your jet pump, which is going to have here from top, from the nozzle also we are going to have the water, and from the suction pipe also we are going to have the water. Okay, this is the jet pump is having it is going to have the combination of the conventional your water pump, that is your centrifugal pump, and an ejector, or it is going to have the adducer. Commonly it is going to be referred in as a jet. Okay, in a jet pump, a jet of water, okay, a jet of water is injected at a high velocity at a throat of the venturi tube. It is going to be, it is already, it is shown in figure. It is going to throw from the water, as I have told, it is going to throw a water with a very high velocity with the help of the nozzle. The high velocity, it is going to pull the water upwards at the tip of the nozzle. This in turn, it is going to create the suction at that point, and the suction is going to the suction it is more, and the water from the source in turn, it is going to be having the upward motion with the very high, having a very higher velocity. Water, it is going to pass the upward through this enlarged section. From a smaller section, it is going to enter into the enlarged section of the venturi. The velocity is going to be decreases, and the pressure is going to increase. Thus the velocity of velocity is converted into pressure, which forces the water within the suction distance of the centrifugal pump. Okay, the water is going to be, then it is going to flow into the intake of the pump, and it is going to be forced towards the discharge side of the pump, which is going to be by the impeller. Thus it is going to have the portion of water is going to be constantly, it is going to be circulated through the pump and the jet. The pressure it is going to regulating on the valve and on the discharge pipe serves to maintain the correct pressure on the jet. Okay, now the main advantage of this particular jet pump is it is going to have the motor, and the pump can be conveniently placed at the ground surface. This is what the advantage that we are going to get from your jet type of a pump. So in today's class we have learnt regarding what are the different types of centrifugal pump. Okay, in that we have studied regarding volite pump, then a diffuser pump. Then based upon the direction of flow, we have classified into radial flow, where the fluid is going to flow in a radial flow direction. Then axial flow, it is going to flow in an axial direction. Then mixed flow, the combination of both the radial flow and the axial flow. Based upon the number of entries, it is going to have the double suction pump and the single section pump. Then we have discussed on the difference between the reciprocating pump and the centrifugal pump based upon the 7 criteria, that is the discharge, speed, efficiency, head, and then cost, and the running cost. Okay, and running, or how it is very easy or difficult, based upon that we have classified, we have differentiated between the centrifugal pump and the reciprocating pump. On based upon all these criteria, we came to a conclusion that the centrifugal pump, or the centrifugal pump is going to be having more advantage than your reciprocating pump. And later we have discussed on the jet pump, where it is going to have a nozzle. From that nozzle, the water is going to be compressed at the water is going to be flowing at a very higher velocity, and the water will be moved through the impeller, and then it is going to be discharged to the discharging portion. So this is what we have discussed in today's class. So we have in pumps we have discussed on the necessity of pumps, the different types of pump, in that displacement type of pump, airlift pump, then centrifugal pump we have discussed, then factors affecting selection of pump, then the reciprocating pump and its mechanism we have discussed, rotary pump, its mechanism we have discussed, then centrifugal pump, its mechanism we have discussed along with its classification. Then we have discussed on the jet pump. Okay, this is what we have discussed on the types of pump. Okay, so this is regarding your fifth module. In the fifth module we have discussed on the distribution, your distribution system, types of your combined and gravity, and both combined and gravity. Then we have discussed on the radial and grid flow. All these things we have discussed, and later we have discussed on the type of your pump. Okay, so this is regarding your fifth module.